Well, let's talk now, before all of that, a little bit more about the procedure for later in the day. I'm joined by Alex Stojanovic from the Institute for Government, a non-partisan think tank. Alex, good to have you with us. So once the Speaker, John Bercow, has selected which options MPs will actually get to vote on, the voting procedure isn't the same as what we've seen recently, is it?
No, it's not the same. In fact, the voting procedure hasn't actually happened before. What it will be is after, as you say, the Speaker selects the options to be voted on, MPs will have a yes-no choice, but they'll be able to vote on multiple options. Now, there is no guarantee that any option will come out with a majority. It's perfectly possible that none of them do. It's also possible that multiple of the options come out with a majority.
As you say, MPs can vote on more than one option. Interesting to get your thoughts on what I was discussing a little bit with Vince Cable there about tactics and strategy and all of this. What would be the most effective thing for MPs to do? To vote for a number of options potentially, or to concentrate on one?
Well, it depends. Depends from what perspective you're looking at. I think there is an interesting question if you want a close relationship with the EU as to whether you vote both for revoking Article 50 and some of the closer options, such as the European Economic Area, also the Customs Union. In one sense, you could argue that if you vote for a close relationship with the EU, you diminish the chances of actually revoking Article 50 and stopping Brexit altogether. And that is very much a debate that you see in the Remain camp. But it's also true that it may be some MPs will think, why not vote for both?
Which is a distinct possibility and quite fascinating in terms of parliamentary procedure on this highly unusual, extraordinary day. So looking ahead slightly, what will happen next? We believe that if two or three favourites emerge from these options that MPs are voting on later, that those would be voted on again. Theresa May bring back her plan for another vote. If that isn't passed and there are these two or three favourites from these indicative votes still in play, what could the direction of travel be? I
think it's worth saying that most of the future relationships will still require Theresa May's deal to be passed, because most of Theresa May's deal are about the terms of exit. They include the backstop, they include citizens' rights, and they include money. All the future relationships that have been tabled will still have to pass that. So even if Theresa May's deal is voted down and another indicative vote shows that there's a clear majority for another option, it will still have to vote and pass Theresa May's deal. It's just that those are about the future relationship. It's a different question. Just
briefly, though, do you think then we're looking at a longer extension for this process to work itself through and to come to some sort of conclusion?
It's possible. I think that it depends on if there is a clear majority for a certain option. If there's a clear majority for a softer Brexit, it puts a lot of pressure on the government, because some of those things would be against Theresa May and the Conservative Party's manifesto. Can the government really go and negotiate that softer relationship? So I think that if you were to have something like a general election as a result of that, you would need a longer extension for that process to happen.
OK, Alex Stojanovic, very good to get your thoughts today from the Institute for Government.